To go over um, this ridiculous play from today, and this was alerted in the chat room and around the twos, and it ran all the way to 1030, which was its highs. So it ran roughly around 330% today. News came out this morning that it started to scale manufacturing of COVID-19 tests, and all these biopharmaceutical companies and mask companies um, are still hot right now. Um, we haven't had a vaccine produced yet, so who knows how long this is going to take to produce a vaccine. However, until that actually happens, I still think that these plays, whenever they come out with COVID-19 news, can still have the potential to run like this. This was alerted in the chat room around here in the 230s, 240s, and I specifically said, watch out for this stock as it's a former runner, meaning in the past it's ran before. I see that it ran here from $2 all the way to 287. That's not that big of a run, but from here it ran from $2 all the way to $5. So that's roughly 150%. Look back even further, ran here as well, gapped up from $3 all the way to 630, so that's another 150%. Right here as well from 517-ish, actually right here before it gapped up, from 430 all the way to 818. So it has a history of spiking, and running. This one from 364 all the way to 722. So it usually runs 150%. I mean, every gap, every spike that it's had, it's at least 100% or more. And with how the markets are going now, I'm not surprised this ran 330% one day because of just short sellers. They're trying to short this thing way too early on the front end, and they just get squeezed. And this is what produces this vertical movement. So I specifically alerted this in the chat room to say, just keep an eye out on this 260 level right here. And when it breaks, just use that as your entry point and as your stop loss right here. So if it retraces below this, then just to get out. So it broke the 260, then retraced, then actually touched it right here on the reversal, and then it just continued going until 322. If you miss this first move, then just keep an eye on it all day, and that 260 level was support, and then it became support again here and also here. So it actually touched it 3 times before it started running again. So right here, kind of right here at 270, a 10-cent difference. It's just a range, it's not an exact science. It, it failed to continue spiking, and then it retraced, and then had this dip right here, right perfectly on 260. 260 area, but as you could tell, it's still a support area, and then it just started getting in. The volume just started coming in. Even if you missed this front move, you could have bought right here and just risk this level of support. And if it drops below, then that's fine. But this is the upside potential that you have, your risk reward. So you're using 260 which is right here, as your risk level. So you can purchase right here in this area. And then you have from this level the 260, let's say 260 to 280 level, so 20-cent risk to potentially make about 60 cents on the upside, you know? And then, depending on how greedy you get, you know, you could just hold it. And as you see here, you start to get higher lows and it starts to uptrend. Um, and yeah, this thing just kept running all day, you know? So this meat of the move right here is what you want to look at. And if you miss this first runner, then you use this support level as your risk level, and then you have an upside to minimum the top here at 330, 320-ish, from 260 level to 320. So that move right there. And then, oops. And then once it passes that level and it retraces to old resistant, let's go right here, retraces to old resistant, right here, you get a double bottom, and then that's confirmation that, okay, this resistant becomes new support, and then that's where you see the next uptrend. And the volume on this thing just held all day. This was 10 o'clock, and it ran all the way through lunch, which is a good sign. You want to keep an eye out on the volume with this parabolic move, because as the volume starts to fade, that's when you can tell that it's reversing and coming back down. See how here around noon the volume starts to fade and then you see it retrace. But then we have another short squeeze because it held its highs into the afternoon, and then the volume, see how right here at noon the volume starts fading, and then around 1 o'clock we get volume starting to come back in, and then it really just shoots up from $5 to $10. So let's say you missed all of this all morning, you know, and then you're continuing to watch this, and we're hitting lunch into 1 p.m., and then you start seeing the volume right here start spiking again. You can use this same level as your entry point, your re-entry point, if you missed it the first time. Because it came down, had support right here in the 547, 540 level, bounced all the way up to almost $7. Well, it hit 7. It hit 7. But then it retraced and then came back down to this 540 level. You can use this as your support level. Consider this as a double bottom, and then use this as your risk level. So, okay, it bounced off this level at 548. The volume's starting to come in, and we're heading into the afternoon. And shorts are loading up here, thinking that it's just going to crash, and then the volume starts to pick up again, and then these get squeezed, you know? So you can look at this support level at the 540 level and then risk off your highs. So even from 540, 548, 545 up to, let's say, $7, that's 55 cents right there, a profit that you can make. And then when you pass this $7 resistance level, you can load off and lock in some gains right here, and just hold the rest until you get this little pop up here. Or if you're not greedy then just sell right here. I mean, 55 cents per share can be great potential and a great return, on your investment. Um, but then it squeezes another 100% into close or into the afternoon, which is just amazing of how this market has been. Um, but I wouldn't have held all through this, I'm not that greedy when it comes to profiting. Max profits I shoot for is 10, 20%, It helps me be more consistent and there's less risk because they can easily have had an offering or something could have happened. You just never know in this type of market what these companies are trying to do, because it's all just trying to raise money for them to continue with their trials, their vaccine trials, and so forth. But into the close is exactly why I don't hold for very long, because look, it went from $10, 10.20, let's say 10.30, all the way back down to $5. That's a 100% drop right there, And if I were to have held all throughout here saying, oh, it's going to keep going, it's going to keep going, and then would have watched it come all the way back down, then that's a day's worth of gains and hard work that you're not profiting off of. Um, so, recap, even if you miss the pre-market move into the open, open was at 9:30 right here. You still had another opportunity right here to get in for this move, or around noon or 1 p.m. going into close, going into the afternoon, right here when it broke out this high. You could have bought right here at this level, risked off of the support level, and your reward would have been up here in the $7 for a 55-cent gain. And you could have sold 3/4 of your position right here and just let the rest ride until you saw that it started having trouble continuing, But that was today's runner, and a lot of people profited in the chat room. Had one person earn, I think it was like $3,200. He made 2,000 plus within seconds, and it was just amazing, On this play, I got in the $2 level, and then I exited at the fours, in the four, actually at $4 right here, and I missed all of this upside. Yeah, I sold too quick, but like I said, I'm not greedy, and I'm just trying to be consistently profitable, because I'm in this for the long run. I'm not gonna get rich overnight, and yeah. So if you like this video, hit the like button. Also, make sure to subscribe for when I make more videos, and yeah, just let me know what you think, and good luck in this market, because I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. All right, take care, guys.